What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I will be doing a deck profile on the Dungeon World Demon Lord deck from the brand new set XBT-03A, Level Up Heroes and Adventures. So this is one of the most anticipated deck from this latest set because it is really powerful and it helps bring Dungeon World to top meta. And the fact that this is one of those decks that allows you to toolbox into anything you need makes it an amazing unit. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a deck profile on it. If you guys didn't check out the battle video I did in the afternoon, please check it out. It's probably a video before this. So yep. Alright, so the pros and cons of Demon Lords. Firstly, Demon Lords do have the ability to search each other. For example, we have Buds, which allows you to summon other Demon Lords and turn them into size 0. That is an amazing ability because if you guys play Dragon Zwei, we have a monster called Ibuki, which allows you to summon the top 3 cards of the deck and turn them into size 0s. So this is a carbon copy and the ultimate version of Ibuki. Firstly, he has the double attack. Secondly, you can call any unit from the deck, which is a size 3, and make it a size 0. So you could even call the triple attacking Dual Seeger and make it just a size 0 so they can attack for crazy. So this deck is basically similar to Dragon Zwei, a huge size 3 monster based deck, and is able to rush really hard as well. So without further ado, let's get with the deck profile. So for the Buddy, we use Buds because he is the main win con of the deck. Having a double attack and the ability to not get destroyed during your turn is amazing. He's basically the carbon copy of Buds because he has the double attack and the ability to get destroyed. But he has also one special ability that makes him one of the greatest monsters of all time, searching for a size 3 monster from your deck and calling it to a field as a size 0 monster. That is amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much the Buddy. The flag we have here is the Demon Lord Kiri with his Buddy Blade Joker. It looks really nice and it goes well with the team. Alright, for the first size 3 play is 4 copies of Great Demon Lord of Thunderstorm Buds. Is the brand new card from the latest set. So Kokos, pay 2 gauge. During your turn, this card can be destroyed by battle and by card effects. Basically by card effects, because there's no way you can battle during your turn. Actually, it could be because it could be destroyed. It's because there are cards that allows you to battle their own monsters. Like you're not wrong. Darkness Dragon World has cards like those. So either way, he can't be destroyed during your turn. Activate skill. If this card is in the center, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do, call up to one size 3 Demon Lord from your deck to an open area on your field by paying its core cost and shuffling your deck. That card becomes a size 0 until it leaves the field. You may only use this ability once per turn. Alright, so he is able to call any Demon Lords you want, and he has double attack and unfortunately a lifelink too, which doesn't matter because we have cards that allows us to lower the lifelink damage. So there are many ways you can combo with this card, and I'll be showing you them later. Alright, so first up, 4 copies of Buds. Next up, Tatsuku's Ryuenji Buddy became a Mad Dragon of the future. So 4 copy of Interstellar Great Demon Lord Jackknife. So I really love his lore. From the far distant future, the Interstellar Great Demon Lord is corrupted by the powers of darkness arrive. So it's kind of similar to the Darkness Dragoner Jackknife. I believe the lore is similar. Before he became this monstrosity, he was Darkness Dragoner Jackknife. Yeah, so he was sent to destroy the future. So Kokos, put a card from your drop zone into this card soul and pay 2 gauge. When this card attacks, and he has 2 or more souls for this turn, it gets penetrate and double attack. So it is a very powerful monster because he has penetrate and double attack at the cost of 2 gauge. And most importantly, how do you get the 2 souls to activate skill? At the beginning of your attack phase, put up to 1 card from your drop zone into this card soul or your gauge. Alright, so that's how you can get your penetrate and double attack. Very good because he has self-repair abilities every single turn. So just like that, you'll be able to get a jet that keeps stacking soul. And if you have too much soul, you can also use one of those cards to add it to your gauge, so you get a free gauge charger. Alright, usually I summon him with Bud's ability when I'm fighting against decks that play center base, because you will be able to do penetrate damage, then swing with your other monsters when their center is open. So this is one of the most important attackers in my opinion. So yeah, 4 copies of Jack, because he's so awesome. You can even play Jack in many other Star Dragon Wars base decks. I actually play him. So next up, 2 copies of Kanata's Buddy, Tora. Quintessence Crystal Demon Lord Tora. He is usually okay. I'll explain why I summon him later, and when you should summon him. So Kokos, put the top card of the deck into discard soul and pay 2 gauge. So it is actually quite a cheap Tora. Usually a Tora's charged it costs 3 gauge, but he's 2 gauge. 727 stats, very solid. 7k usually mitigates a lot of attacks unless they link attack. So damage dealt to you by opponent card effects are reduced by 1. So it's very good against Thunder Mines, either Thunder Mine decks or even the Tora mirror match. You can reduce all damage to 0. So it's a pretty dang sweet monster. Second ability is monsters on your center and spells on your field cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effect. This effect is very important, especially if you are playing the set spell Satsuki Palace. Satsuki is a very powerful set spell, which gives you a lot of advantage. And if you predict your opponent's gonna destroy stuff on your field, such as I don't know how they're gonna destroy Butts, but the set spells, you definitely call him out. Yep, and he has double attack with Soul Guard with Lifelink. Very powerful unit, definitely one of my favorites. So yeah, you can also play him in the Prism Dragons deck. He also has great effects. Yeah, he's actually a pretty good Tora. It's just cheap Tora. So it's 2 copies. So for more support for our Demon Lord Butts, 4 copies of Bladewing Phoenix. This card is so damn good, right? It's a size 3 monster with a 10k attack power, able to run down one of the deadliest meta cards right now, which is Gaian. Is very important, and he has 2 crits and 1k defense, which doesn't matter because defense is overrated anyway. Okay, I'm just kidding. This 1k defense is perfect because they want to try to balance out the stats. 1k defense is very good for glass cannon like this. Kokos, put the top card of the deck into the gauge, and sorry, into the soul and pay 2 gauge. So it's a pretty cheap monster. 2 gauge for in fantastic monster like this. When this card attacks, choose 1 monster on your opponent's field, and you may put a dungeon enemy from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck. If you do, destroy the chosen card. The reason why I play this card at 4 is because sometimes since we play many of single copies of your dungeon and dungeon lots, you kind of wanna, if they were to enter the drop zone, you might actually want to send them back. That's why Bladewing Phoenix is able to like fetch them back to the deck so that you can next turn summon them with Butts again. So he's not only a double attacker, he can destroy stuff on opponent's field. So basically he can break down walls easily or control your opponent's board. You can also refill your deck for demon lords that you need to send back. So it is a very powerful card. Definitely a must play at 4, I find. Usually you just use him as glass cannon breaker, field destruction, or just anything you want. It's just such a good card. Alright, so next up, I play 1 copy of each tagged in Demon Lords, 1 copy of Masseria. Masseria is a fantastic card to go against stuff like a Star of Justice, which nullifies all monster effects on the battleface. His ability is basically a core cost of 2 gauge and put up to 1 card from the drop zone in this card. So it's 2 gauge for 1 soul, very powerful set, 7/6 stats. Abilities of all cards on the field cannot be nullified by opponent's card effects. So this card is a very powerful card because if you're fighting against stuff like Frozen Stars or Oberon, this card basically just counters their shutdown ability. So usually I use him to if you're fighting against Star of Justice, you can use Butts to search him up, and then your Butts will be able to do double attack during your opponent's battle phase. So it is a very deadly card. 1 copy just as attack, because otherwise usually he's just there just for a beat stick double attack. When this card enters the field by Swords of Swordsman Kiri, for this turn nullifies all ability on opponent's field. Now that will be a deck profile for another day. Alright, next up, 1 copy of Bow Dragon. I play him just because he gives your center 1 extra crit, and if you're giving Butts an extra crit, sometimes that value of 3 crit, 2 crit is pretty worth it. And he also has a 10k attack power to run down some big monsters that Butts won't be able to run down, such as Gaian. And if this card is on the left, yeah, you just give him a crit, so pretty much that. And this card can't be nullified if it's attacking alone. And he has Penetrate. Yeah, that's the most important ability, to penetrate and to get down gigantic walls that usually your other stuff won't be able to get rid. Jack is only 7k. So 1 copy of attack. 1 copy of Ibuki. Ibuki is also a fantastic card. Core cost pay 1 gauge when this card enters the field by a card effect. So Butts is a card effect core. You can destroy a monster on your opponent's field. If you do, steal 1 of opponent's gauge and deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's a very good card. Usually I summon this if my opponent were to have 1 or less gauge, because if you control the gauge, you can control the game, basically. And you can also control the board, because that free destruction ability is just so damn good. At the cost of 1 gauge as well. Sometimes if you run out of gauge, you can always call him, because he's pretty much 1 gauge, which is very cheap. 1 copy of Drum, because Drum is just an awesome unit. It's actually one of my favorite monsters as well. Kokos, put a top card of the deck into this card soul and pay 1 gauge. Alright, the main reason why I use him is because of his removal ability. At the beginning of your attack phase, if this card's in the right, you can destroy all monsters on your opponent left and right. So you're fighting against a Gao formation, he just counters that. He is a very fantastic 3 critical, so you'll be able to do some damage in. He has Penetrate. So yeah, it's another card that you can do against triple formation or triple formation decks. Yep. And finally, 1 copy of Duo Seeger. This is the last size tree you play. One of the greatest size trees in this deck because of the fact that he's able to do a triple attack, and he has fantastic stats, 828 stats. 8k is very hard to bring down. Kokos, put the top 2 cards of the deck into this card soul and pay 4 gauge. Alright, fortunately for this deck, gauge is never a problem because we have stuff like Dangerous Views to charge gauge and Floating Palace. Floating Palace is just gauge reducer. So it's something like a Revenant, which allows you to reduce the core cost of all monsters caught by card effects. So yeah, his counter ability, you may put 2 Demon Lord or Dragon Lord monsters from your drop zone into the bottom of the deck in any order. If you do, resend this card. So basically this ability allows it to attack for 3 attacks. So it's a very powerful card. And I just play 1 tech in Death Gaze because it's just a size 0 monster. If you have an original size 3 monster on the field, it's a size 0. And when a Demon Lord or the Black Dragon on the field attacks and destroys the opponent's monster, or put a card, you can put a card on your opponent's gauge in the drop zone. So steal 1 gauge and deal 1 damage to the opponent. So that's once per turn. So it's just there because I can just destroy stuff and just get some gauge stealing and deal some damage, and it also swings for an extra crit. Alright, now for spells, we play 4 copies of Bonus Quest. This card is so dang good. Right, it's just basically one of the best draw spells in the game. Cast cost, discard a size 2 or greater monster from your hand. It is very easy because this deck is packed ton of size trees. These are all size trees, and pretty much discarding 1 to activate its ability is a very easy cost. So it's the reward you get is put the top 2 cards of the deck into the gauge, gain 1 life, and draw 2 cards. That is just so much pluses in 1 single card, which is so easy to fulfill. Definitely one of the best draw engines in the game, and yeah, and the art just looks so nice. It's a must play in Dungeon World decks right now. Next card is another fantastic card from the new latest set. 4 copies of Demon Lord Castle in the Sky. Satsuki Palace. So Satsuki as a palace looks really creepy, but he has such an awesome effect. Cast cost, put 2 Demon Lords from your drop zone into this card soul. So it's a set card. If you call a Demon Lord from other than from your hand, you can call cost reduced by 1. So if you're activating Bud's ability, the monster called by paying its call cost will be reduced by 1 gauge. So it is pretty powerful. And of course, its main ability is counter. If you have no monster in the center, you can call a Demon Lord monster from this card's soul, and by paying its call cost. So a very good card because firstly, it not only reduces your gauge cost, it helps you protect yourself as well. So, or sometimes you do not have any monsters in the center, you can just call any of these monsters. Fantastic. So let's say, oh no, during my turn I didn't draw a monster. Alright, don't worry, Satsuki Palace is here to save you. Call that's out for only cost of 1 gauge because it reduces the gauge cost. The best part of it all is when you call out the soul monster, you have another monster in there. So if they ever destroy you, you can actually wait, before your battle, I will just call this monster out to protect my life. Something like that. So it is a very good card. Definitely must play in force, reduce all gauge costs, and just gives you free monster, free defense. Perfect card. Alright, some more advantage engine. 3 copies of Golden Treasure Box. So good in this deck, okay? So right now, finally we have a proper size 3 deck that you can play this card in. You may only cast this card at 6 life or less. Not very difficult since we actually take a bit of lifelink damage. And yeah, basically it's very easily pulled off after the first turn. We have some cards that actually pay life, so you can drop to 6 very easily. Alright, put the top card of the deck into the drop zone. If that card is a monster, draw cards equal to the size of the monster. So guess what monsters we play mostly in this deck? Size 3 monsters. So it's a draw 3 in an instant card. Even if you don't check a monster, he has a fantastic ability of charging 1 gauge and drawing 1 card. So either way, you're getting a plus for sure. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck right now. I never get to play this card until this deck actually arrived. 3 copies of Dangerous Fuse. One of my favorite cards in the game as well, because of how fun it is. It's just, its ability is just look at the top 2 cards of the deck and review them to your opponent, then return the cards face down. Sorry, review only 1 card to your opponent. So for example, let's say I have Butts and check. Review 1 card to opponent. Review Butts. You shuffle your hand, then you should choose Butts. If you get it right, you can same name, you can draw 2 cards. Yeah, put the 2 cards in hand. If it's wrong, you can put the gauge. Put it into the gauge, yeah. Alright, so basically it's either draw 2 cards for a single card like this, or charge 2 gauge, which is like a dragonic charge anyway. It's not bad. Either way, you're getting a plus on that. So love it, love this card. Next up, some search power for Demon Lords. Cast cost pay 1 gauge, search a deck for 1 Demon Lord that's not an impact monster and add it to your hand. You can only cast this ability once per turn. Give Demon Lords even more consistency because you can search out Demon Lord Butts so that you can get your whole engine going. The key of the deck is just Demon Lord Butts, nothing else. 4 negates for Dungeon World. So, Abominable Ritual. You may only cast a card if you have Dungeon Lord, and you just basically 95 attack and charge 1 gauge, gain 1 life. It's a Sun Dragon Shield for Demon Lords. Very good because Dungeon World honestly does not have good negates in the past, and this is a fantastic negate for them. It's free cost, pretty much guaranteed condition, and you can charge 1 gauge and gain 1 life. 4 copies of Protection of Shamshana may not be the best negate right now, but it's still a very powerful negate because you can pay 1 gauge with just 95 attack and gain 1 life. Finally, the brand new weapon for Demon Lords we have is Growler's Stuff. Growler's Stuff is a very very good card because first up, you only pay 1 life for its equip cost, so there's no gauge needed. Reduce the damage dealt by lifelink by 1, so many of these lifelinks are pretty much almost free. So stuff like this is free. Okay, this one we pretty much pay more, this is no lifelink. But only have 1 lifelink, so it's a good card. In case your opponent destroy your monsters, you take less damage. Activate, you may tap this card. If you do, charge 1 gauge. So it's similar to the Legend World stuff, charging gauge. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile on the dungeon enemies. Sorry, I keep confusing that it's actually Demon Lords. Thank you for watching. Before I end this video, if you'd like to buy Buddyfight decks and singles like these, be sure to check out buddy-mart.com. Links in the description box down below. Thanks for watching and peace out. Love you guys. Rawr.